Hello, I'm Rachel from Riri Gets Crafty. That's my Instagram name. It has been so long since I've done one of these videos that I don't even know where to begin. And actually, I just changed my Instagram name, so if you're following me on Instagram, you know me as Kirk's Crochet Creations. But since I've learned how to knit, I'm hardly ever crocheting anymore. So I thought that I needed a name that was inclusive of all the crafty things that I like. And I don't want to limit myself to it just being crochet or knitting even, actually. And same with this podcast, I guess we'll call it, these videos. I don't know. I don't want to confine myself to or limit myself to what I can talk about on here. I've been wanting to start doing videos again. It's been a really long time since I did that, so like vlogs and stuff like that, but I want them to be about whatever I want to talk about, whether it's gardening or knitting, crochet. I don't know, maybe I'll learn how to sew one of these days. I've always wanted to do that, so we'll see. But for now, we're going to talk about knitting. If you're new here, hi. If you're not new here, you'll notice that my sister is not here with me. This channel started out as us being the Stitching Sisters, and we would do monthly make-alongs together where we would work on the same project and sort of do like a vlog type style of videos just to document our progress and all that. But after she had her second baby, she stopped crocheting because obviously she was very busy, and then I moved away. So it feels really weird to be sitting here recording without her. And then life got hectic when we were moving. I did a moving vlog. I tried to do Vlogmas, and I was really excited about it, but I never even ended up posting my last video, which was like arguably the best one in the whole month. But I really want to do Vlogmas again this year, so I think that like starting to do videos again now will get me in the habit. So let's get started. Let's just jump right into this. Grab a beverage, grab your project, whatever it is that you're working on, get cozy. My favorite thing at the end of the day is to make some hot chocolate, and I've even been putting whipped cream in it lately, and grab my project that I've been, like my main project that I've been working on the most, get cozy in bed, watch a podcast, maybe sometimes listen to an audiobook, and just knit. And so maybe this can be like that for you. I've got my tea here in my new Halloween mug. I'm drinking a cinnamon vanilla tea. I actually haven't even tasted it yet, but it smells like cinnamon toast, like cinnamon sugar toast. My dad used to make us cinnamon sugar toast all the time as kids, and I want it now. That's good. Okay, so let's talk about what I'm wearing. You can't really see well, but let me stand up here. I have on, maybe I can throw in a picture too. I have on my Annie overalls. The pattern is by Courtney from Tinderbox, and they are hands down the most comfy thing I've ever made. I used Lindy chain. This is the yarn that I used. Let's see if I don't know if it'll focus, but where are we? Oh, I'm so out of practice. There we go. Lindy chain. If you would like to make overalls and use the same yarn, the yarn was perfect for this project. It's super comfortable. I wear them all the time, so they've held up really well. I only hand wash them. I haven't thrown them in the washing machine or anything. I hand wash, lay flat to dry, but this yarn's been great, and I actually have 2 full skeins of it left. If you would like to make some in the same color, let me know. So that is what I'm wearing. Also, everything that I talk about, I'll put links for down below. So I'll put the Ravelry project page for these Annie overalls down there, and most of the yarn that I talk about, not all, because actually some, I don't even know what it is. I didn't save a label. So the thing that I finished the most recently, I'm going to show you that first. I'm super excited about these. These are the Tiilda Mittens. I hope I'm saying that right. It was a free pattern on Ravelry, and they are so cute. They're so cozy. They're so warm. I cannot wait to wear them in the snow. They have like a beautiful cable pattern. I love knitting cables, and yeah, so fun. So fun. And that'll bring us into my next whip, I guess. Work in progress. there's a matching hat. And I love that it was a free pattern. Oh, I do have a yarn label for these. I loved that it was a free pattern, and they knit up so quickly. It was a super easy project. So this yarn is Lion Brand Wool Spun. It's a discontinued yarn, and they had brought it out for like a limited time only, as the label says, so you might not be able to get that anymore. But it's a it's 80% acrylic and 20% wool, so hopefully they'll be nice and warm. Last year was we had just moved from Hawaii in October, and so it was like my first time getting to experience fall and like a real winter. And I wanted to go ice skating so bad, but I was so nervous because I don't know what I'm doing, and I was embarrassed and I didn't go, and I'm kicking myself for that. This year I'm going ice skating, and I plan to wear these. So this is the matching hat. This is all that I have so far. Nice big chunky cables on this. I love that. Yeah, super cute. And then I've got a pom-pom that's gonna go on the top of that. I didn't take the pom-pom out, so maybe I'll be done with that next time we film. I haven't really been working on the hat a whole lot because I've gotten distracted by other projects. So when I was a crocheter, I was a total monogamous crocheter. I would only work on one project at a time. Oh, I forgot to put my cable needle back on there. Cable needle. I would only work on one project at a time, and I wouldn't let myself work on anything else until I finished that one, because I cannot stand for things to be left unfinished. Anything, like even if I'm not liking a show, I have to finish it, and it's kind of ridiculous. So that was my way of making sure that projects would get finished, is I couldn't start a new one. But since I've learned to knit, that has not been the case, because I've been crocheting for like 11 years off and on, and so now that I've gotten into it more to where like it's my life now, I like to take my projects on the go with me. So if I'm like waiting at a doctor's appointment or anywhere, waiting in the car, anywhere, I have something to work on. And with knitting, I'm still really new to it, and there's a lot of like projects that I'm making that I just can't take everywhere with me because I need to be looking at the pattern, or it's like really big. I've got a sweater I'm working on right now that's in like a really big project bag, so that's obviously not going to come with me. So socks have been my on-the-go projects, and actually there's another one that I forgot to grab as well. This is my newest cast on, and I got the yarn the other day. I'll add a picture in here so you can see how it looked like in the skein. So it is from Dragon Horde Yarn, and is my first time ordering yarn from them. And the colorway, or it's a sock set, and the colorway is called Be My Nightmare, and it's a fall Halloween colorway, and I love it. So this is where we're at so far. I don't know where to, like, I'm looking below the camera so I can just try to see what I'm showing, but I don't know if it's in focus or not. But anyways, I'm just doing ankle socks, a little cuff. I've made a lot. I love making socks, and I've made a lot of them recently, but I'm having a hard time with the fit. They're always a little bit too loose. Like, my ankle socks are okay, but longer socks, the leg is like sliding down on me a little bit, and they're always still just a little too loose on the foot. So I was watching Andrea Mallory's channel. It's called I'll Knit If I Want To, and she answers questions that like you can submit, and someone was asking about sock needles, like what her suggestions are, and she said if you're a loose knitter you should try wooden needles. And up until this point I've only been using the ChowGoo metal ones, and while they are great needles, I love their cord, I'm trying wooden ones for these just to see if it helps my tension, if I can make them a little bit tighter. And then the pattern is Vanilla Socks on Magic Loop by Kay from the Crazy Sock Lady. And I'm following her pattern except for the top of the foot. I'm doing knit 3 purl 1 to like, hopefully with the ribbed, hopefully it'll like pull the sock in a little bit more on my foot. We shall see. But this is what the yarn looks like caked up. It is beautiful. Hopefully you can see it okay, but like I said, I'll try to throw a picture in so you can see it better. And then there's the sock set came with 2 minis, so a purple and an orange, and they go perfectly with the yarn. It's gonna be really fun. I have got a tangled mess here now. Yeah, I have one more sock whip, but I didn't grab it, so we're not going to talk about that one today, I guess. And then the mittens, I showed you the mittens. That, like I said, I'll link all the patterns down below, but that was the Tilda Mittens and the pattern. I don't remember the designer's name, but I'll link the Ravelry project page. So if you want to make some mittens for the winter, like I said, knitting cables is so much fun. It is like, I've only been knitting for about a year, but I was determined to try all the things and just like dive right in and figure it out as I go. And you'll see on this next project that that's, I really mean that. I'm going for it. But cables, to me, they're like magic. It looks like it would be so hard, and it's not. It's so easy, and it just makes this beautiful design. I love it. Okay, so next project. This is my sweater. This one I started, I'll have to look back at the project page to see when I started it, but I think I want to say I started it in March. This has been a long time, like a long-term project. So this is the Broadleaf Sweater. Let's just show it. Let's go for it. You see? I hope you can see it good. It is beautiful. Like this is brioche, and so the pattern that it's making, I love it. I absolutely love it. And I'm in the 11 Stitches membership with Natalie from Knitting Natty. It's her knitting membership group, or it's not just knitting, actually, crochet, 11 Stitches. And one of, like, we do make-alongs in there, and one of the make-alongs was for brioche, and a lot of people did like a shawl, a cowl, a hat. I think a couple people did a shirt, and I was like, I'm going all for it, and I'm going to do a sweater. And I somehow thought that I was going to be able to get it done in the 2 or 3 months, however long the make-along lasted. Well, I struggled. First, I had such a hard time getting gauge. I'll talk about the yarn that I'm using in a minute, but it calls for fingering weight yarn for the main color, and then for the contrast color, it's fingering weight yarn and mohair held double. And I could not get gauge. I went down like 3 needle sizes from what the pattern calls for, and finally got rid of the mohair, then got gauge. So the contrast color that I'm using is more of like a sport weight. I think that was the problem. It was too thick. Finally got gauge, got started, and I kept messing up. I was like working on I do all my best knitting at night. Like I am a night person totally, so I like to stay up late and do my knitting, but I was tired. I had family visiting at the time, so I wasn't focusing on the pattern as like well as I should be. And I was also like, I would be listening to my audiobook, and this is one that definitely, in the beginning at least, until I had the pattern repeat down, it definitely requires some focus. It's not, if you're an adventurous beginner, you can totally do this. Like I said, I've only been knitting for a year, but you have to pay attention at least in the beginning until you get the repeat down. So it's 1 row of brioche, like brioche increases and decreases, followed by 3 rows of just plain brioche. And so for sure on that increase and decrease row, you need to pay attention. I wasn't doing that. I kept messing up. I had to frog it 3 times back to the beginning. And I hadn't gotten that far, but it's worked flat. So like 1 row is, you know, like the repeat is six rows, but there and back. So it ends up being 12 rows, if that makes any sense. I'm probably explaining that terribly. Anyway, so what I have learned, what has really helped me, is adding lifelines. That's my tail. Adding lifelines has been a lifesaver. And when I first, like, up until recently, I didn't even know what that meant, what a lifeline was. It's really easy. Look up a tutorial if you haven't already. You literally just put the yarn on, put a scrap piece of yarn of a contrasting color on a yarn needle and weave it through your stitches. That way, if you mess up, you don't have to rip back all the way to the beginning, especially with brioche. That has been a lifesaver. And then adding stitch markers in between every, or progress keepers, whatever, in between every pattern repeat. So you'll see I've got several of them here. That way it helped me keep track of where I was in the pattern. And that has made a huge difference. So I'm making good progress on it now. I I think I only have about 4 more inches to go. I really only get about 30 minutes a day to work on this, so we've still got a while. But yarn that I'm using, so the gray, the contrast color, this yarn label has been chewed up by my dogs, but it is Delicious yarn, and that is found exclusively at Tempe Yarn and Fiber here in Arizona. It is dyed by the owner, and there is no colorway name. I think this is one of the ones that is like a one of a kind skein. So this came in a huge skein. It was 800 yards. And it's 90% Targhee and 10% nylon, and I love that blend. I love working with Targhee. It feels like kind of rustic, but it's nice. It feels really nice. So it's called Papago Park. You won't be able to find it there anyways, but like I said, Delicious is exclusively at Tempe Yarn and Fiber. And then the main color that I'm using is, I have a second skein of it. It is Heritage Wave from Cascade Yarns. It's a 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. And the colorway is Wildflower? Yeah, Wildflower. And I've got a hair stuck on it. It's beautiful. And what I like about this yarn is the skeins are not all the same. Each one is different, and it's, whoops, sorry, didn't turn my phone off. Each one is different, and it creates a fade, as you could see in here. So where I started, the beginning was like blue and purple, and then it's faded into like a blue and green, and then a blue and green and yellow, and now we're in yellow and green, and it's gonna just keep going. So the pattern has instructions for you can do both the front and back in the brioche pattern repeat, or you can do the back in stockinette. Originally, my plan was to do both sides brioche. It's a beautiful pattern, but honestly, I just want to be done with it. I love the pattern, love the project, love the way it looks, but it's just taking so much time, and there's other things that I want to make, and I know that having a plain stockinette back will be just as beautiful. So I think, as of right now at least, we'll see what happens. My plan is to do the contrast color for the back, so the gray, and then for the sleeves, I think I might do the main color. Maybe the main color is really thin for a fingering weight. It is way more thin than the contrast color, so I think I might be able to get gauge if I use the mohair with that. I have a really pretty purple mohair for the sleeves, and so we'll have like fuzzy sleeves. I don't know how that will look. I'm excited to try it though. So yeah, that is currently what I'm working on. Future projects, I have a whole, let me look at my plan here. I really want to make sweaters. I am just on a sweater kick, and now that I live somewhere where I moved to Arizona, it's not cold here, but somewhere where I can go to be cold, like it's only, 2 hours away and I can be somewhere cold. I want to make sweaters that I can actually wear. Okay, so my 2022 make goals are to finish broadleaf, and then I have an idea in my head for what I'm calling the Pharaoh Sweater. If you've read A Court of Thorns and Roses, which is my favorite book series, I'm actually currently listening to it for the 3rd time. You will understand Pharaoh wears a lot of big cozy sweaters, and there was one outfit that they talked about in one of the books where she was wearing like a gray oversized sweater with leggings and boots, and I'm like, I need to recreate that outfit. I'm obsessed with the book, the whole series, and I love Pharaoh, and so I'm going to make a Pharaoh inspired sweater. Bellish isn't a thing anymore, but when there used to be an app called Bellish where you could kind of design your own pattern, and like you put in that you want a top-down sweater with I don't know, I'm not very experienced in this, a raglan type sweater, turtleneck, whatever, all these details that you want, and then it kind of like spits out a pattern for you. So it tells you like how many stitches to cast on, how many inches to knit for the body and for the arms and all that. So I did that. I saved my pattern before the app shut down. But I also have a book, and I actually can't remember the name of the book now, but it's sort of the same thing. It helps you like build your own sweater. So that's my plan for the Pharaoh sweater. And then also I'm trying to use up stash yarn, not because I don't want to have a stash, but just because financially I can't really buy yarn right now. And I have a lot of great yarn already that I should be using. So I have 4 skeins of a purple DK weight yarn, but it's kind of like a fade. Like I got a light purple and then there's like 1 solid, the rest are all variegated. I don't know why I did that. But anyways, I'd like to make a turtleneck sweater with that, just to use up stash, use up the beautiful yarn that I bought and do love. And it's nice when you want to make a sweater and you already have enough yarn for it. And then I have another goal of making this cabled, it's a full cabled sweater. It is beautiful. This would be definitely a big project. It's called, I believe it's called Cord. Like I said, I will link the Ravelry project page down below. And then the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. That is my plan. So as far as like timing, Stephen West Mystery Knit Along will be my main focus for October. So I would like to finish my broadleaf sweater by September, by the end of September. Can I do that? I don't know. I don't get a ton of knitting time. So we'll see on that. If I could finish broadleaf by the end of September, then October, my main focus will be the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along. And then I think I said November, I would like to work on the purple sweater since I've already got the yarn for that. December, Pharaoh Sweater, and by the end of the year, cast on cord. Can I do a sweater a month between now and December, and then a big, huge shawl in October? And then at the end of October, I'm going home to visit my family. So that's a lot. I'm very ambitious with my knitting goals. So we shall see on that. I gotta wrap up here soon because I have a doctor's appointment. I feel like I've just been rambling this whole time, but I've been really excited to get back into doing these videos. And so I just kind of like was ready to just jump in and go for it. I guess I didn't really do much of an intro detailed thing, but we're here. We're just gonna go with it. And as far as the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along goes, I don't have yarn for that yet, but up in Flagstaff, there's a yarn store that's going out of business, which is unfortunate, but the owner is retiring and they're having a huge sale. So tomorrow, my plan is to go check out that sale and maybe get at least a few skeins for the Mystery Knit Along. You need 5 skeins of fingering weight yarn for that. So that is my plan for tomorrow, is to go try to find yarn for that. And I think I want to film a vlog while we do that. And bring the dogs, go do some hiking, and go look at yarn. So that's exciting. And then maybe next week I'll have a vlog for picking out my yarn for my Stephen West shawl. We shall see. But yeah, as far as like more videos go, I don't really have a plan. Maybe on my days off, I'll do some recording. Like I said, I don't want to limit myself to have this be, I don't want to say like, this is a knitting channel. Like, I just want to talk about all the things that are going on in my head all the time, all my ideas. And, you know, I've been, like, I think I mentioned, I've been really into gardening lately and like, being more self-sustainable. So like learning how to preserve food, and I want to make kombucha, and I want to learn how to do canning. And I kind of just want somewhere to talk about all of that. That's not just Instagram, because I spend too much time on Instagram, and talking in stories is fine, but they go away. And so it would just be nice to have the videos. I love looking back at the old videos that Sarah and I did together. And by the way, she's doing great. The babies are great. Sarah's gotten into sourdough, and she's making like bread and pies and cookies and all these yummy things that I can't wait to go try when I go visit her. I hope she plans on cooking for me the whole week that I'm there, because I really want to try her sourdough. Yeah, she's doing lots of baking, lots of cooking. She's also gardening. We're doing a fall/Halloween gift box exchange with each other. So that's been really fun. It's a total surprise for as far as what we're getting each other. So I've been like doing some shopping and putting some projects together for that, for getting ready to send her that. And I think before I package it all up, I might do a video to show like what I'm sending her, and then I can post it when she gets it. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening to me and letting me go on and on and on about all the things that make me really excited. And I'll see you next time.